Hello, my name is Daniel Scuria-Herman. Today's suggestion comes to us from frequent viewer of the channel, Ravenous Catalyst 594. Said a lot of nice things in this comment. I'm not going to read all of them out because it feels like if I read them out, they're too gloating. But thank you for all your kind words. This was on Crow's One, so this person was talking about how much I liked Kimya Dawson and recommended that I check out their album that they did together called Uncluded. And like I titled that video, this person mentions, it's glorious synergy and different than anything ever. And apparently Kimya Dawson plays guitar on the whole album, which sounds like something that I like. And they take turns rapping and singing, so that's very cool. And recommends the song Teleprompters. So we're gonna check out Teleprompters. I'm looking at the album cover right now. I assume this is Kimya Dawson and Aesop, but like, at least I know that Aesop isn't an elderly man, so I think this is them aged up as like gnomes in a fantasy setting. I don't know what instrument it is, but I like these like high notes that they have in the background next to the guitar. It feels very kind of like, I don't think bluegrass is the right genre that I'm thinking of, but very calming, very serene. Maybe it's just piano? I don't know. Like, I don't know what these high notes are. Is it some sort of like woodwind instrument?
Ever since I was a kid, on the backs of my two eyelids I hid to tell.
Again, every time I hear her voice, like the last time I did in Crow's One, it's just like this uncanny feeling, and it's a very unique voice that I really don't hear in any other artist, and kind of like instantly recognizable. And it's so uncanny that at first in Crow's One I thought that it was like maybe like Aesop's voice like filtered or something, because it just feels so like so odd and sort of like inhuman. And yeah, it's very cool.
Prompters, they're transmitting words from who knows where. A walkie-talkie on a mission. Roger, Roger, will I
really like this because it's Teleprompter who knows where, walkie-talkie on a mission. So it's talking about all these like communication devices and language sort of services that are lost. I think that's a really cool idea.
listen, or will I just pass it along in the form of a sing-along? Whammies and noids, be void and null. I feel a tingle.
I don't know if that's Aesop doing the sort of supporting track, but sort of like in the background, that little like, is it humming, I guess? Is it humming?
In the form of a sing-along, whammies and noids.
Yeah, that. I don't know if that's Aesop, but it kind of, I like that it's sort of like reinforcing it. It doesn't really feel like rap, and I think it even feels like less like rap than even Crow's One did, which I think out of all the Aesop songs that I've listened to felt the least like rap. So I really like the direction that's heading.
Be void and null, I feel a tingle in my skull like ticker tape. The words appear, there's a parade between.
It's very cool because like with the last time that I sort of like took, I guess the first time that I was introduced to this, and I was like, wow, this feels very different from an Aesop song, and it's like the specifically Kimya sound, I guess that's what it is, where it's just feels like it's sort of parallel to the genre. It exists in the same sphere as the genre as the other Aesop songs, but not sort of coinciding. You know what I mean?
In my ears I preach self-love, I know it's true. It's easier to say than do. I sing these messages to you, but now
hold on, I need to say that again. That was a beautiful line.
Ears I preach self-love, I know it's true. It's easier to say than do. I sing these messages to you, but now I need to.
I preach self-love, I know it's true. It's easier to say than do. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful line because it communicates so much. There's like, I love lyrics that have these sort of like combine these like different concepts and then it tells the whole story in like 2 lyrics. Like there's this one Josh A lyric that goes, I think it's Josh A. I dry my tears with the clothes you left behind. And that tells you everything you need to know. And I think that that's something right there because that shows self-love. It's a therapeutic technique. She's working on bettering herself. She knows it's true, but then she can't. It's unachievable still. She can't work her way up to that end. That sort of self-love, even though she knows it's good and she knows it's something that she should do, she can never reach it. And it's communicated just in these couple lines.
I need to hear them too. I am beautiful. I am powerful.
I send these messages to you, but I know that I need to hear them too. That goes back to what I was saying earlier about these communication devices, the teleprompter, all these things that are failing to send these messages, to communicate these concepts, and that's how being related to what she's going through. It's really cool.
I am strong, and I am lovable.
And these are self-affirmation statements. I am beautiful, I am powerful, and then she's turning them into lyrics. So this is like a song about sort of learning how to cope with yourself, really, and sort of be able to communicate and understand who you are. And what does a teleprompter do at the end of the day? Because a teleprompter tells you what you need to say. Teleprompter is showing you what you need to do. And teleprompters typically aren't written by you. It's sort of like it's a newscaster. It's written by writers for the network. So you're being told what to say, which is why she was saying that the teleprompter lost the message is because she doesn't know what to say anymore because people stop telling her and she has to find out for herself. That's a beautiful sentiment.
I am beautiful. I am powerful. I am strong. And I am.
I really like this idea of like turning these self-affirming statements into lyrics because it sort of sets it into stone and cements it as a concept, an idea in your head that yes, this is true. Because self-affirming statements sort of you can dissociate from them and sort of just like I said it, but it doesn't make it real. But sort of making it into something permanent sort of creates this sort of root in your head.
Strong, and I am lovable.
I was wondering if he was going to come in or if I was bamboozled into a Kimya only track. I thought the same thing with Ruby 81, which is ironic. Or was it? No, Crow's one. There's too many numbers, sorry.
Line, yeah, full of dog toy, picturing a life beyond that of a.
And while I'm not really into like rap per se, I do think I can confidently say that it is cool when Aesop comes in because it's a very stark difference between a more sing-songy sort of Kimya and a more classic rap like Aesop.
Protocol droid, bleep blue, boy ox, boycott, pea soup, first learn to eat pain at St. Peter's preschool, yum.
First learn to eat paint at St. Peter's preschool. That's very cool. Again, both of these artists are able to communicate so much through like such like small tastes of lyrics. And he just described a whole swath of his upbringing. It's so cool.
Now that's a painkiller I can speak through.
That's a painkiller I can speak through. I really like how he flows from preschool to talking about painkillers, and I feel like it's not, I think it's a metaphorical painkiller, but it's very interesting to see this dichotomy of age and with them aged on this album cover. I think it's really cool.
The year that he would subsequently pass, I know he had a stroke, but I
Yeah, and it's sort of, I do like the sort of somber, melancholic, I think melancholic is more accurate than somber, sort of tone of the music, where it's sort of like swaying, and I feel like I'm unconsciously swaying as I'm listening to this, but swaying sort of sad, sort of just reflection on life, where Kimya is going out in this direction of like failure to love oneself, and then Aesop is looking at this like these events that defined him.
assume that's only happened. Now I'm signing up for figure drawing class in a tux like a gentleman.
Signing up for figure drawing class in a tux like a gentleman. I think that there is a difference in the lyricism of Kimya and the lyricism of Aesop, and I think it's hard to say because they're, again, I said like Kimya is like parallel to sort of Aesop's sort of sphere of music making. Definitely isn't the right word, but it's the one I'm going to use. So I feel like it's hard to compare them, and I feel like blending them together is such this weird intersection of genre and tone that really blends together effectively to communicate this message.
I'd like to say it's cause I was a rebel. Truthfully, it's easier to say oh hell instead of hello. Hi.
It's easier to say oh hell than hello. That's a very, like, it's like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's really, I don't know if it hits home, but it is very true to the world, where it's easier for people to like greet, like to not to just like be dismissive of others than to just come at them with kind words. And yeah, easier to just say like, oh, I don't care, than to greet someone. That's what I was trying to say, with like open arms, trying to say.
You need to get out more.
Ooh, I like how their voices like fell into sync there.
No, I don't want to be there when the geometry domino. You need to get out more.
Oh, it's like layered voices of both the voices in his head and the voices of others around him. So instead of Kimmy looking at this from this perspective of failed self-love, he's looking at it from this perspective of others telling him what to do and him deciding not to do it.
Maybe his pace is better suited for pacing.
Maybe this pace is better suited for pacing. So he's sort of, because of these voices that are being negative towards him, he's being negative towards himself and sort of putting himself down on what he'd need to do in life.
To get out more. Never, I am nailed to the floor. I am snail under pressure.
And that sort of declaration of never is sort of his, I don't know if I'd say independence, but recognition of self, just like Kimya is trying to do with I am strong, I am powerful.
You need to get out more. Fine.
And there you go. There's the giving up. And that's the losing of the sense of self. And that's exactly, I know it's true from Kimya, where it's the recognition of failure.
Ever since
And then speaking of, it goes right back to her.
I was a kid, on the backs of my two eyelids I hid two teleprompters there.
Exactly. So her teleprompter is messages from her younger self on who she thought she needed to be. That's deep stuff.
Transmitting words from who knows where. This is why when I'm on stage my eyes are closed, I'm in a haze, I look like I'm made out of clay. I'm overwhelmed and underglazed.
Overwhelmed and underglazed. So sort of like looking for the right thing to say and being at a loss when you're unable to find it. That's very cool. And I really like how much she's playing into this theme of teleprompters.
I'm making vases out of snakes. I'm a kiln half full of mistakes when eating if.
So comparing the vases made out of snakes to a half-made kiln, I think it's sort of like she's trying to do something impossible for others while she still can't do that thing for herself. So that's very cool.
overlooked. It's gonna crack when it gets cooked.
It's going to crack when it gets cooked. So she's carrying this sort of vase metaphor. What Aesop does is he sort of flips from metaphor to metaphor and then all connects them together. She's taking this one metaphor, extending it out through her verse, which is very cool.
Self-forgiveness is the key to resculpting my sanity, mindfulness, humility, and taking time.
There you go. There's the self-love theme again. So she's bringing back this earlier theme into this mindfulness, humility, and just all these ideas that she's sort of connecting and forming this full shape of her.
Care for me, I preach self-love, I know it's true.
There you go. This is the part that I liked.
It's easier to say than do. I sing these messages to you, but now I need to hear them too. I am beautiful. I am.
This is like this part, it isn't very evocative, just true interiority. It's like moment of interiority, and I think it's very cool to do.
I am powerful, I am strong, and I am lovable.
Yeah, I really like how it cuts off the self-love and goes right back to Aesop, who's sort of more wallowing in his despair and looking back at his life and the events he regrets. It's very sort of flowy between them.
Picturing a life beyond that of a dishwasher by buzz.
Picturing a life beyond that of a dishwasher. So he's talking about how much he regrets, like all these things, like the paint chips at the preschool, all these events in his life that he wishes he could change or move on from, being a dishwasher. And just, yeah, it feels very authentic to both of these people.
Pain, crisscross arms in a tub ring. Learned heartbreak when a Zelda 1 subscreen numb. Learned dark.
Learned heartbreak with a Zelda 1 subscreen. Is that talking about? Is that like a gaming reference? One of the things I've noticed with rap is a lot of the times they'll make reference to a lot of like pop culture things, and I always found that cool and wish I could like get more into rap because of that. Because like I thought it would always be cool to like try to catch some like references to things that you'd know. But yeah, I just never got into it.
The overlapping networks, so you throw a bag together and elope with cabin pressure to disappear instead of interfere with any customs or differing definitions of liberty and justice.
So that right there, that's talking about customs, and it's customs because he's trying to get away, and obviously customs, TSA, that sort of thing, but also customs as in standards, which is exactly what is beating down on both of them. The voices that like were layered for Aesop and sort of self-love that Kimya cannot accept.
Definitions of liberty and justice. Big dummy dig a hole in the dirt. He put his head in the hole. He is alone in this world and dying slowly from the comfort of his home full of worms.
So he's looking at himself as this sort of ostracized figure that's sort of self-ostracized and sort of looks like he just can't connect with the world and therefore is always going to be separate from it. That's a beautiful sentiment. Well, it's a sad sentiment, but it's beautiful in its authenticity. I use beautiful a lot, I've noticed in these videos, but when I just see these depictions of humanity, I can't help but think, I just recognize just how beautiful they are. Because I feel like the truth of them is what makes it beautiful.
Until you hear a little voice say, yo, let's go get dessert. Wait, what? You need to get out more.
That's very cool, because I'm pretty sure that one was specifically Kimya's voice. And that's sort of like pulling him out by not forcing him to do something, like this line.
Yo, let's go get dessert.
It's sort of like an offer of assistance. And that's how you should approach the situation rather than forcing.
Over 2 million dead bats in NY alone. You need to get out more, maybe.
It is cool because the most vocal voice there is his own. So his own worst enemy is his own thoughts.
Lots. You need to get out more. Never I am nailed to the walls in a jail made of deserts. You need to get out more. Okay.
Yeah, and then giving in. It is sad that in the last 30 seconds of the song, he still gave in to the voices. But yes, that was a very emotional song. I really enjoyed that. That was one that I really felt like I understood, definitely like more than the others. And I think I'm losing my voice because I talk so much. Maybe I did talk too much. Yeah. Let me see, because the original comment, I'm gonna say, just because I'm losing my voice, which very much doesn't happen often, I'm gonna check real quick if there's an interview, just because the comment mentioned it specifically. No, it doesn't look like there is. Alright, anyways, I'm gonna go rest my voice. I never talk this much. The video's over, but I'm just gonna say, I don't have anyone to talk to, so these videos are the only time that I talk, really. So my voice will get tired very easily just because I'm not used to this. So I just want to say before I end the video, thank you all for being here, and thank you for giving me time to connect with others and introducing me to new things. Yeah. Anyway, that's all from me. So until next time, adieu.